Hey Gators and sports fans, get all your Gator talk, news, analysis, and opinions on the Pod Up with Matthews in the Morning podcast. Find us on your favorite podcast platform or watch us on Facebook Live between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. every weekday. Pod Up, because we are Gator fans. So say, it's great to be a Florida Gator.
Good morning and welcome to Wednesday. It's Pod Up with Matthews in the Morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios. Large enough to serve you, small enough to carry. Got a good show lined up. We'll have JC here. We'll have Chris Harry from FloridaGators.com join us, give us a rundown of all the new additions to Tide Golden's basketball squad. They've been practicing, all that good stuff. So since it's dead time, we'll talk a little Gator basketball. In the meantime, we're gonna head to the Titan More hotline, and we're joined by JC. Good morning, JC. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Thank you so much. Doing well. Middle of June, kind of. You're right. It's dead time. After the College World Series, sports for me kind of takes, goes really. There's really not much to look forward to. You got the British Open, and then you got training camp, and that for me is it. I don't really watch auto racing or Wimbledon or any of that kind of thing.
But you're a great tennis player.
But I don't really care to watch it on TV. Isn't that funny? It's kind of like those people who you see out there say, well, I don't really want to watch golf, but I'll go out there and play.
Well, here's the thing about tennis.
Yeah.
I don't watch tennis very often.
No, I don't.
And it's a great sport. Don't get me wrong. And obviously, you have different surfaces you play on, but that's very seldom. Majority of the time, they play on hard court. But people go, well, how can you watch golf? Well, golf, you're looking at different venues and different holes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, tennis is a slab of concrete
or clay,
slab of clay, or a slab of sod grass. If you're Wimbledon, with a net. I mean, it's the same. Yeah. So
it's kind of like you're right. I mean, that's it. Golf. That's exactly right. I mean, golf gives you so many different perspectives. There's rarely the same shot over and over again, even though some of these guys make it look like they're hitting the same shot because of how good they are. But when you watch it on TV, sometimes you don't really understand or get to see how the things are, how hilly and slopey things can be, and hilly. And it is much different. And that's exactly right. Golf courses are all different. Tennis is played on the same square or rectangle. So with the same net, same boxes. Yeah. They'll say, well, you have to make different kinds of shots based on where the player is and the positioning of the player and so forth. But there's really no more room. The room that you're given is all you've got. So I hear you. One thing I do love about tennis for all our listeners is you get really good cardiovascular exercise playing tennis. If you're playing singles in a competitive match against another guy playing singles, you will work. It is hard. And even doubles, when you have good players, can work up quite a sweat if you do it for 2 hours. So it's good exercise. It's very good exercise. So I like doing it. I like playing. I like hitting the ball. But QB, what I've noticed is, and a week ago I was throwing around how excited I was about the College World Series and how great I thought these games were going to be and how close and how competitive they were going to be. And it's been anything but that, right? I mean, we've seen nothing but blowouts for the most part in the College World Series. It just stuns me. 10-2, 13-5, 17-2, 13-8, 7-3, 6-2. These games aren't close. They're just not. They're not that good. And so maybe we're going to see some semblance of competitive baseball here soon, because yesterday was just a ho-hummer. 5-1 with Texas A&M and 11-1 with Arkansas. So SEC is going to be guaranteed one side. Oklahoma is the lone survivor outside of the SEC currently on the other, and that is what we got.
Yeah, today you got an elimination game for the Aggies. They play Oklahoma. If Aggies win, they got to play Oklahoma again tomorrow. And in the night game, Ole Miss has not lost, and they play the Hogs. So the Hogs got to beat them twice. So, we'll see. It's, it hasn't been great, but it's great for the SEC. I mean, we basically got 4 teams left in the SEC, count Oklahoma. But I still think an SEC team is going to win the national title. It'd be something if Ole Miss wins it. They have, I think, one national well, let me back up. They're kind of like Alabama during the Johnny Vault days back in the day when my dad played there.
Yeah.
They claimed a couple of national titles in football,
Yeah.
kind of how Alabama did as well. But their first official, I think, came a couple of years ago. Their women's golf team, I believe, won a national title. So
okay. Well, you're right.
We have a lot of Ole Miss people that could correct me, but they do have a couple of national titles in football. We got a couple of Facebook Lives here before we move on, brought to you by Meldon Law. Joseph says, Cormani McClain and Jaden Rashad are going on official visits to Miami this weekend. Those pesky Hurricanes ain't got nothing going for them outside that billionaire. Well,
I'm not sure about that, but the Miami Hurricanes, the school has made an executive decision to invest in football now, and so it may take a couple years, but they're going to have what they've been missing, I think, and that's why the program has suffered so greatly in the last 3 decades.
Well, they got Mario Cristobal, who obviously played there, loves that university. He's supposedly a great recruiter. He'll make them somewhat relevant, I believe. I could be wrong. So we'll see. John says McClain, he thinks, is down to Florida and Alabama. The Gators got a recruit yesterday, 4-star defensive end pass rusher who was committed to UCF. Decommitted from them and then committed to the Gators. So I guess we'll find out a lot about some of this class this weekend. Wow. So John says, did you know this, JC? Because you're kind of a closet Texas Longhorn fan, right?
Okay. Yeah, I do like them.
Okay. John says Texas fired their pitching coach after the World Series, and he was the assistant coach of the year in 2021.
Oh, jeez. That sounds pretty harsh, man. There must have been some arguments going on in the locker room. Well, they were first one out, weren't they? And they were the favorite, if you can call them that. And I thought it was surprising they even made it. They were. I didn't think they were going to get out of East Carolina after that first game against the Pirates, but they did. And I don't know, Texas. It's just funny. They just can't seem to get out of their own way in much of anything. They get a great home game against the dynasty in Alabama, and the TV network slams the game at 11 o'clock in the morning. So,
that ain't their fault, though.
No, well, you're right. It's really not. But, you would think a school the sway of Texas could at least get the Fox and tell them.
They should have said, you know what, we're putting this damn thing on the Longhorn Network.
Well, they got rid of that. So
no, I think they still have it.
You do?
I do. I really do.
I don't know if that distribution.
I think it's going away eventually, but I think they still have it. We got a text on the Titan Tomorrow text line from Ryan. He says, "Good morning, gents. I know a loyal listener recommended CrossFit as an option for JC's public weight loss challenge. Yeah. But I think JC is more apt to do cross stitch before CrossFit.
I can't do either. He hasn't seen my hands shake much.
Yes, that would be very dangerous. How about that SEC Final Four in baseball? If they expand the football playoffs to 12, that's exactly what the semifinals could look like in 2025, all SEC. I sure wish Arkansas and Ole Miss could have met in the finals, but we know one of them will be there either way. It's a great storyline. Appreciate the text, Ryan. Yeah, for my family, my dad played football. My dad played football at Ole Miss. My granddad his dad played football at Arkansas. So,
okay. Wow.
The battle of our family there. This is from Frank on the Titan Tomorrow text line. He says, JC, since you have some downtime, it would be great for you to start following Gator football recruiting.
Look, I appreciate that. I really do.
I ain't gonna follow it.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. When I was working in the media with TV20, I didn't follow it then. We had one signing day back then too. I think recruiting is extremely important. It is the lifeblood of your college football program, but it is a guessing game. Okay, you're hypothesizing what is going to happen with players that you know very little about outside of what the services tell you. And before we didn't even have these services. Now it's become a mini business. 24/7 Sports, Rivals.com. It's become a proxy business for college football, and I'm all for it. But if you think Shane Matthews, Michael Shane Matthews, and John Andrew Cornell are going to sit around for even an hour and a half a day reading what some 18-year-old kids decide to do with their lives, you got the wrong show, bro. So that's just the way it is.
I'll never be one of those guys that follows it closely because I mean, I love my school, but I ain't going to do a damn thing about their recruiting. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. You, as an Alabama grad, you don't follow what Nick Saban's doing or anything. I mean, it's just. Some people just enjoy it. We love golf. Some people don't like golf. I have nothing against people that like to follow recruiting, but it changes daily. So,
and I'm not trying to divert people's attention from us necessarily, but there are, I would think, plenty of recruiting podcasts you can tune into and listen to help you sleep at night. So, I mean, whatever you need to do, it's got to be out there. The information age has well been here for over 2 decades, and with the internet, you can do anything you want. But me talking about Bobby Walker from Pascagoula, Mississippi, who ran a 4.4 and caught 3 touchdown passes against Clinton High School in the Mississippi State Championship, and whether or not he wants to go to 5 different schools will absolutely not be a way I spend my time. So that's just not going to happen, and I'll be thrilled if Bobby Walker decides to come to Florida, and that's great. We can watch him play for the Gators or not. He may not. He may be a bust. We got plenty of those in our life. So, it's fine. I'm good with Bobby, but I don't really care. I don't. I got an email from an Ohio State fan, who is very busy. He travels all over Florida. He loves to play golf. He's about 5'7". He's very loud, and he's a lot of fun. And he can bench press 300 pounds. And he's so much fun. He's going to go to the Ohio State Notre Dame game. And he sent me an email about a wide receiver that Ohio State signed or is going to sign. It's all verbal right now. So he's got an email. He sent me that email. And I responded, LOL, which now I understand means laugh out loud. And he said, John, why aren't you excited for me? And my Buckeyes are going to get better. I said, are they really? Did he sign anything on paper? Has anybody else tried to recruit him? And has he played a game for the Buckeyes yet? And he answered, no. I said, well, okay, well, carry on then. I've got shit to do. I'm busy. Okay. I'm
busy. Very busy. Dan says on Facebook Live here, he has the Longhorn Network. Longhorn Network is still around, JC.
All right. Well, the days are numbered. It's on life support. I know it's going away when the SEC expands. Yeah.
Ruzover State Farm Office is a team of dedicated insurance professionals ready to help life go right with the right insurance options for you and your family. Visitogreinsurance.com. Give them a call at 352-240-1779. Speaking with JC on the Titan Tomorrow hotline, Chris Harry from FloridaGators.com talking Gator hoops will join us at 8:30. Gene says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Meldon Law. JC looks layered up with the medium sweater in Gainesville on this summer morning. Is this part of his weight loss routine? Go Lightning.
It's true. I do. I walk up and down the 10th fairway, which is a 529 par 5 from tips to green in a sweatshirt in the humidity and heat. And I'm trying to generate calorie burn. And, an old girl I used to know told me that it's good to sweat, and if you layer up when it's hot outside, you will sweat faster and more. And so that's actually kind of true. But it was yesterday morning. It was 69 degrees out here on the porch. So, but it you know how it is. You know what I've been surprised at is that this area has not turned into Bangladesh with all the rain that we had last year. Remember all the rain we would have every day? And maybe that's coming, and I've just jinxed us for July and August. Yeah. I hope not. Yeah. But June's been pretty dry, and I love it because that means we can do outside stuff.
Tony says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Meldon Law, amen. No recruiting, please. Yeah, we don't really talk a whole lot of recruiting here.
I don't care.
So JC, I got a bunch of Facebook Lives here from multiple people referring to the Tour 54, I like to call it.
Yeah.
The Live Tour.
Yeah.
So obviously, I believe, me and some other golfers that were on text feed, I believe I told y'all that I thought Koepka last week would be the next guy to go because of his mentality. Mm-hmm. He doesn't care about the Byron Nelson. He does not care about the Honda Classic. Mm-hmm. All he cares about is majors. He never practices. And so he hasn't played well. He's been hurt a lot too.
That's true.
When you look at the guys that have gone over there, Abraham Answer is a good little young player too. He signed with them.
Right.
It's basically I mean, here's what it is. It's get paid, and now I don't have to worry about competing. And if I get to play in the majors, great. But none of those dudes were relevant in the majors.
Now they will say to you they've got 8 top 50 players on their
Okay, roster. But have those 8 top players been competitive?
No.
And now,
not at all. Now, interesting you say this. Koepka's in the field at the Travelers Saturday or this weekend.
No, he's not. I thought they were playing the Live tournament in Oregon.
He's in the TPC River Highlands field.
Well, he won't be able to play if he's signed with them. He's not eligible. He'll be suspended.
He's teeing off at 7:15. So
no, once you sign with them, you're suspended, JC.
I think he's announced he will sign. I don't think he's done the deed yet, QB. And I think you'll see him this weekend.
I bet he's going to WD watch.
Think he'll do that? Okay. Well, it's possible, but he's listed to be in the field, which means if he's not in the field, then there's a Monday qualifier or somebody else that can take his spot. But he's in the field. So
okay. I love this text. I love this text from Ryan McGee from ESPN. You know, he does the show with Marty and McGee.
Yeah.
He says, Live has an expiration date. History says that all alternative leagues do. So go get your money and ask for forgiveness after it goes under isn't the worst business plan, I suppose. And if they don't let you come back, sleep it off on your mattress stuffed with cash.
Yeah. That's a great tweet. I'm not doubting any of that. And yes, you're right. There is a Live tournament in Portland, I think, or somewhere out there in the West. But yeah, dude, this is. I mean, I got nothing against these guys going, but I think you're right, and I think it's a combination of It's a combination of grabbing cash. Okay, fine. But not being able, I think in their minds, they don't think they can win at the highest level right now.
They can't.
I don't think they think that. Now, that might be ridiculous to tell Dustin Johnson, if he were standing right here, and I looked at him, I said, DJ, you cannot win at the highest level. That might be the most obscene thing, ridiculous thing you could ever say to somebody. But Abraham Answer and Kevin Na and some of these other guys, Phil Mickelson, they're not winning the majors. They're not going to win the majors, but they see a pile of cash that is available to them, and they are doing what's best for them financially. They're not doing what's best for them, in my opinion, competitively. And I think there's a careful balance between those two things. And guys like Koepka, who've got, 4 majors? What's he got, 3? Something like that?
He won 4 majors in like 2
4
years.
Majors. Yeah. And I think in his mind, I really believe this, now that he's also gotten married, I think in his mind, he has realized that 4 more is just not in the cards. It's not in the cards because of physical health, because of his give a crap, and because of his new life with his wife and whatever. They may start having kids. He's not thinking that I can do what I did 4 times before anymore, but I also can't make the same kind of money that somebody is going to give me literally for showing up. So I'm going to take it. And that's the truth. And I think that's what we're seeing guys do. But like Marty says, there is an expiration date to that. And it's not going to last because the market that tour serves is not a market that will support these types of dollars over time. And eventually oil will go down. And when it goes to 70 and when it goes to 60, that money is going to go away. So, this is just a fad thing, I believe, and I don't think it has lasting power. Now, we could be wrong, but I don't think it does.
Koepka, I mean, he doesn't practice ever, and, his brother is on that tour, too, so maybe it was a package deal.
Has anybody even heard of his? Yeah, but, I mean, his brother, right, so maybe he's focusing on family, wife, brother, whatever. His brother's never going to win anything. What's his brother ever won? What has his brother won? He's not going out there to play with Will Zalatoris, Matt Fitzpatrick, Rory McIlroy, John Rahm. He's not beating those guys in his wildest dreams. And he knows
those guys could give him 2 aside and they still wouldn't beat him.
They'd lose. He would lose. Yeah.
But Dan says here on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellon Law, what about the PGA announcing tournaments with high payouts and no cuts too? Did you see that yesterday?
I did. I saw something about like that on the app I look at. I think they're trying to address something in the short term, but I don't think that's a lasting thing either. I think the PGA Tour is going to do what it does. A lot of that money it creates goes to charity, and that's a good thing. There's nobody going to complain about that. Anybody who complains about that isn't very benevolent. So I don't believe that this is going to continue, but I did see it. I agree. I did see it where they're going to have a 50-player format.
Joseph says, why in the world are you so bent on other people getting the bag, which is young people's way of saying money? NIL, LIV, ask yourself one thing, would you turn down the opportunity? Look, this golf thing is nowhere near what the NIL is. It's how it's backed is number one, the issue, the biggest issue with most people. Would you say yes, JC?
Yeah.
Where the money's coming from?
With these collectives, yeah.
No, I'm talking about the Tour 54.
Well, that too. I mean, the Tour 54 is backed by Saudi Arabian oil money. That's pretty much it.
But my point, the point for people that don't understand golf, that is exhibition golf. It is no different than going to the Steve Spurrier Scramble for Kids and having Dustin Johnson in your group, because they're playing for money, but it's not competition. It's a team competition. They're having a shotgun start. There's no cut. Who gives a damn if you shank a ball? It doesn't matter because you've already been paid. It is not real golf. I will argue with anybody on any platform that it's ridiculous. And look, would I take the money? I don't know. I have no problem with those people taking the money. They just need to come out and say, look, I'm not worried about ever competing again, because I just got paid a lot of money and I'm going to enjoy my life. If people would just say that, I don't think they would have a problem with it.
Well, you're not going to argue with me about it because we're like-minded on every aspect of this thing. And so I will agree with that. I mean, and sure, go ahead, grab it, go get it. If you don't want to win the Masters or the U.S. Open because you're not playing on a circuit that's more competitive, that's fine. Go for it. I mean, go play, do something else. There'll be other people that win these tournaments that we will follow. And the reason why Matthew Fitzpatrick to me is more important than what Brooks Koepka's doing is because look at how he played. I watch golf because I want to see how these guys play. I don't watch golf so I can keep up with their Wells Fargo and Bank of America investments and accounts. I watch golf because I like seeing guys like Matt Fitzpatrick and Will Zalatoris hit shots 322 yards with a cut and then decide to do a Justin Thomas and drive a par 4 or make a long putt to stay in a tournament. That means something. The U.S. Open means something. So this is what the typical golf fan like us is going to gravitate to and never really deviate from. No. We're not going to watch high-dollar exhibition golf matches. I'm not going to watch that, QB. I'm not going to watch.
Well, I don't even know how you watch
the USFL game.
Okay, 2 more tweets. Facebook Live messages on golf, and then we're going to move on. John says, Tiger's the only one I heard that turned down their money. No, there's been multiple. John Rahm, Rory McIlroy, Colin Morikawa came out yesterday saying he is not going. And these are guys that are the young guns in the face of the tour. And they just ain't going nowhere. Hang on. I want to read this one real quick. Greg says, is there any other sport than golf that you can only get money unless you win and not a contract and money just for playing? Okay, I've always had so much, because I believe golf is the greatest sport in the world. I've said it multiple times. You have rules you play by, and that is it. There's nobody throwing a flag on a 75-yard touchdown calling the left tackle for holding. You have rules. You play by those rules. And I've had so much respect for golfers, because golfers, you have to earn your money. Okay, in the NFL, you can sign a $5 million deal. You may get it, you may not. NFL's a bad because you get paid by the week. Nothing's guaranteed other than your signing bonus. But the other sports, you get your money. Golf, if you don't make the cut and perform, you don't get paid. Your caddy does not get paid. However, you do make money off your sponsorships from your clubs or your clothing you wear, things of that nature.
But so do tennis players. So do race car drivers. So do tons of other types of athletics. You get paid even if you're not winning in other sports too. So you do.
So anyway, Tony says, if I was Pat Perez, over 40, and Sam Horsfield, younger Euro guy and Gator, I would take the money, bigger names, no thanks. Yeah. I mean, like Pat Perez, he's never been relevant on tour, but he's been on tour for a long time, had a good living. But if they're going to pay you $10, $12 million and shake hands with a corporate sponsor or whatever, go do it. I have no problem with that. But it's not going to ever be competitive.
No,
ever.
He's never going to jump up there and play these guys that we watched last weekend and have a realistic chance of winning. It's not happened. Those days have gone. Brian Gay is the most famous, I think, make a living on the tour and never win guy I've ever known. Chris DeMarco was kind of like that as well. I mean, he came close. He did. But he made a great living because Skip Kendall showed him how to putt at the Gainesville Country Club by using the claw. And that allowed Chris DeMarco to make a living on tour. Otherwise, he would have been shagging range balls. So, this is what Pat Perez is. He's just a guy that clips a paycheck and moves on to the next venue. And that's fine. That is fine. But if some Saudi Arabian wants to give him $20 million, that's even better for him. But that's not what I'm watching it for, dude. That's not what any of us watch it for.
All right, JC, one more Facebook Live, and then we're going to get to our Peachland Dentistry. We're actually going to pick the Travelers, all right?
Okay.
Joseph says, back to recruiting, he says, and this is brought to you by Mel Law, he says, recruiting is the lifeline to football. If you don't like recruiting, you probably don't like the game. It is what it is. None of us made it that way, but it is. That's the way the world works. I agree with that, but that doesn't mean I don't. I could care less about recruiting, but I love the game.
That's right. I'm happy that they're able to recruit players to play this game. It's a contact sport and it's rough on your body. Great that they were willing to do that, and I love watching it happen. Now, QB, the baseball, when we did the Peachland Dental College World Series, do you have any recollection of who either one of us picked?
I know exactly who I picked. I had the Hogs playing the Aggies and the Hogs winning the national title.
That could happen. And who did I have?
I want to say I think you had like Texas and Notre Dame.
But they're in the same bracket, so I wouldn't have picked both of them in the same bracket.
I don't even know.
I think I had Arkansas playing somebody other than A&M.
Well, here's what you can do, JC. While you're on your walk in your sweatshirt, you can go back and listen to it.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Sure. No problem. All right. Well, do you want me to pick my winners for this week?
Yes. Peachland Dentistry, Gator Nation's #1 choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte surrounding areas. Visit them at peachlanddental.com. And by the way, we've picked the outright winner, the last 2 or 3 tournaments?
Last 2 or 3 tournaments, and we have both picked the outright winner in the last 2 majors. And, I had JT and you had Fitz, and I've had Zalatoris in both of those. And that poor guy is just so close. His day is coming. I just got to believe that. He is not a Ricky Fowler type. He's going to actually win. He's got more talent. All right, I'm going to start it off. And believe it or not, in this Travelers Championship QB, there are some big names playing. And we mentioned
Yeah, all the young guns that are winning.
Well, right. And, you would think after the U.S. Open, and many times guys take a week off getting ready for the next major, which is in a month away at St. Andrews. But I'm going to start it off with here, you'll like this name, Nick Lashley. I'm going to start it off with him.
Okay, that's Harris English is your defending champ, the Georgia Bulldog.
Right. I mean, but this is a tournament. These guys that you don't really follow sometimes sneak up and win.
Yeah, I'm going to take my man Sam Burns.
He's good. He'll be playing for the 3rd or 4th straight weekend, though. It's a lot of golf. That's a lot of golf.
It ain't like they're running miles. I mean, he'll be fine.
Well, yeah, they're definitely not running, but they are walking miles. But you're right. That's a good player. He's had some real success here recently. I like his game a lot. I picked him last week, and he was close. He was in the top 10. Scotty Scheffler, please.
Well, he's the #1 player in the world, so why not?
I got to take somebody. If I take Lashley, I got to take one of the top 5, so I'll go with him.
All right, I'm going to take where'd my list go here? I will take Webb Simpson.
Yeah, this is the kind of
he's got a gator on his bag, so we'll see if Paul Tesori and they can do something.
He does kind of show up in these deals. I'm going to take Jordan Spieth. I know we don't talk much about him. He just kind of lingers. Maybe he'll break through this weekend at Hartford. Give me Jordan. I don't think this course is overly difficult in terms of length. I think that I would think he should play well in this tournament. So give me Spieth. I never pick him, but I'm going to take him this time.
I'm looking through the list here real quick just to take somebody different.
Bubba Watson plays this tournament real well, but I don't think he's in the field. I'm surprised by that because he loves this course. He's always challenged in this course the last 3-4 years, but I don't see him. Maybe he's skipping.
Okay. I'm going to take – I don't think he's ever won on tour, but I like his game. I love his demeanor. Yeah. I love that he wears and loves his school. Harold Varner III.
Yeah, poor Harold. Harold makes a lot of pars. He's got to start getting more, I think, aggressive. He's close, but no cigar yet for Harold. So I got Lashley. I got
Scheffler and Spieth.
Spieth. Thank you.
Okay, hang on. Before we get out of here, I got to read. Joseph says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mental Law. To switch it up for a moment, Jordan Battles, a shortstop for Arkansas, is a stud. The dude hits a double, makes it the second for the runner.
It's great.
On first is even halfway to third. The double play he had last night was he looks. Do you know who we're talking about? JC Jordan Battles, the shortstop. He could be Jalen Hurts' twin brother.
I see that. Yeah,
they look exactly alike.
He's got that face that looks like Jalen Hurts. They have the same appearance. He's a good player, man. He's really good. He's really good. Look, Arkansas is a really good team. I'm rooting for them to beat your Mississippi guys, but it wouldn't break my heart because if Mississippi wins, even though I'm a state dude, Mississippi represents the conference, and if they ended up playing Texas A&M, that would be great. But
Mississippi go back-to-back national titles.
That would be great.
Tony picked his golfers were Cameron Tringali and Davis Riley. You know where Davis Riley played, JC?
Don't know Davis Riley.
Don't?
Davis Riley?
Yeah, he's been playing out. Okay, you can never come on this show again and talk Alabama golf again. Ever. You have been banned.
Get out of here.
So you are definitely a bandwagon, don't know my golfers at my alma mater. That is you. And having said that, I got to make sure Davis Riley is an Alabama guy, but I'm pretty sure he is.
Oh, my God. I just got hung from a tree, literally. And now they may have found out that they got the wrong guy.
No, I'm about 100% sure he went there.
Okay.
He's from Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Yeah.
And he played his college golf at Alabama. Okay. And you should be ashamed of yourself, JC. But he's a really good player. JC, that's just, they're going to kill you on here.
Well, I deserve it.
So, all right, we're going to get you out of here, and we're going to talk Gator hoops. We got a whole new roster to talk.
Yeah, and the new coach, everything's new. I love the reboot they have going on in Gator basketball. So good luck with that. Give Chris my best, please.
All right, that's JC Johnson, Titanium Heartline. We're going to take time out, come back. Chris Harris from FloridaGators.com.
We want to take this moment to thank all our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills. Our premium sponsors are Crime Prevention Security Systems, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Titan MRI, Gainesville's only locally owned and operated MRI facility. Meldon Law, the only official law firm partner of the Florida Gators. Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's first choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte. Comfort Temp, comfort is our business, peace of mind is our promise. QC Kinetics, live pain-free with QC Kinetics. Our gridiron sponsors are Auto ER, UF Bookstores, Celebration Point Town Center, Chris Doring Mortgage, Silverback Concrete Co., Ruse Ogra State Farm Insurance, Doreen Wiebe Realtor Caldwell Banker MM Parish. Our touchdown sponsors are Campus USA Credit Union, Adams Rib Company, Gator Dominoes, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Okido America, Style Cuts, Ironwood Golf Course, Big Mills Cheesesteaks, MB Listing, McDonald's of Gainesville, 84 Lumber, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, Avra and Smith, Dowling Signs, Baker's Sporting Goods, Silver Cube Billiards and Sports Bar. If you are interested in promoting your business on the show, visit potupwithshane.com and click the advertise button. Again, thank you to all the great businesses that support the show. If you like what we are doing here, make sure you follow us and support the businesses that support us.
Welcome back to the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Celebration points where the Gators go to celebrate with premium brands like Bass Pro Shops, Dave & Buster's, Regal Cinemas, Nike, Palmetto Moon, Medici's, HBC's Restaurant Spurs, Gridiron Grill, where every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 2:30, you can get the hottest brunch in town. We'll see you at Celebration Point where the Gators go to celebrate. Going to go to the Titan MR Hotline, and we're joined by Florida Gators senior, junior, sophomore writer, Chris Herod. He does it all. Good morning, Chris. How are you, my man?
I'm not a freshman. I can't be a freshman.
No, you're past that. You're like a 10-year vet.
Double red shirt. Got my PhD. Yeah.
Yep. You've transferred like 10 times in the portal. Speaking of transfers.
Yeah. With no NIL money.
Well, we got to talk to the folks over there at the firm. I wanted to get you on there. There's not a whole lot to talk about now with Gator sports, but obviously basketball, they're practicing. We got an entire new roster. Just kind of tell us what you've seen, what you've liked. I personally think, now, I don't know all those guys that we've signed because I do watch a lot of college basketball, but I think the most important one to me is Kyle Lofton from St. Bonnie.
Okay.
He's a true point guard,
Yep.
and we really haven't had a true point guard here in quite some time. How do you like him?
Well, I tell you what, I mean, what you like about him is his resume. Talking a 4-year starter. He played 116 career games at St. Bonaventure and started every one of them. He averaged over 38 minutes a game. So the guy doesn't come off the floor. And his assist-to-turnover ratio is about 3-1, which given the assist-to-turnover ratio here the last couple of years, with a team that was operating without a true point guard, all this stuff is good. So, I mean, if you want to look at something that maybe he doesn't grade, I think he's a career around sub 30% shooter from the 3-point line. But they're not going to ask him to do that per se. They think he can shoot better than that, and I've seen him shoot better than that so far in some of the workouts that I've been to, and they're extolling him with confidence in terms of his ability to shoot. But they're going to have some other guys. They want him to be a facilitator. Again, these guys have only been here a few weeks now, so this is the feeling out period. I've come to become very cautious this time of year, Shane, because I've been here. I think this is, it was Billy Donovan. I was here for his last 4 years, 7 for Mike. So this is my first. So I've seen a lot of summer workouts, and I've seen a lot of teams that have looked really, really good in July and August and even into September. That once once they get between the lines and once the minutes start getting distributing, then personalities start to change, personalities of the team specifically. So right now, everyone loves each other. Everyone loves the coach. And what I do like about the coach, he's in the middle of everything. He's in there. He works out with them during weight sessions. He's out running with them on the floor. The coaches are very, very engaged in terms of the individual instruction and what have you. And whereas the last few years, what you've seen individual instruction has been like an empty gym, music blaring. There's a bunch of people in there, and there's a good camaraderie. Now that's part of that is transition and change, and they're trying to establish some things. But Todd Golden is big on the relationship piece of his coaching, and he's going to get in with these guys. And I remember I saw a tweet one time from Brad Stevens that said, you want to get to know a player, or you want to build a relationship with a player, go rebound for him. I think Todd Golden is in that mold of a guy who wants to go out there and be on the court and be hands-on and help build relationships. That's when you get to know guys, because he listens to the same music he does. He talks to them about what's going on, with their, in their lives away from the court and everything. And I think some guys are really embracing having a better relationship with their coach than maybe they've had in the past. Closer relationship.
Andy asked here on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellon Law. Chris, how is Jason Jatobo doing with the eye injury, and can he be a meaningful contributor on this team?
I can't say that right now, but what I can say is that he's cleared to work out on the floor in non-contact situations. It's going to be a while before they stick him out there where he can actually be banging around on bodies. This is a serious injury he had to his eye, and he's had a couple surgical procedures on it. So they're going to have to really be careful. And I would imagine if the time comes when he is cleared to play, and I think, optimistically speaking, I think he will play in time. I think he's going to have to wear goggles. But I tell you what, these guys, we all know, and everyone's read about it, these guys are very highly analytically based in evaluation. And Jason Jatobo's numbers, analytically speaking, when he was on the floor, the Gators, when he was on the floor last year, were a much better team. The efficiency was much better. So they want him out there. And granted, you're talking about team that has Colin Castleton coming back, a second-team all-league player who was tremendous last season, led the team in scoring, rebounding, and block shots. How they envision him playing together, I know this staff wants to play two bigs at once. So we'll see how that all develops. But right now, he can only do limited things in terms of individual instruction, mostly shooting, moving, that kind of thing. But he can't bang any bodies yet.
David asks or says, Coach Golden's going to be speaking at the Panhandle Gator Club in July.
That's 15th. Right. That's right.
Who are they targeting here in Panama City? I mean, probably nobody. He's just on the speaking tour, correct?
Yeah, that's right. And that's a good question. I mean, they just announced last week his speaking engagements are actually next Tuesday is his first one down in Miami. I'm actually going to go with him to that one. I think he has one in Sarasota, and I think Sarasota maybe. I thought Panama City was in August.
Well, he said July 14th. Maybe he's wrong, or he may be right. There's one in Sarasota, and there's one in Panama City. For some reason, I thought Panama City was the last one, but I don't know. But one's June, one's July, and one's August. Like I said, it's Miami, Sarasota, and Panama City, and the first one is next week. So he'll be out barnstorming, trying to get people excited about that, and he's really good in that kind of setting. So if people haven't seen Todd Golden or have a chance to go out and see Todd Golden speak, get to know him, listen to him a little bit, that'd be a good thing for them to do. It's only $15 to go to one of those Gator clubs too. So we got a text on the Titan Mark text line from Charles in Tampa. He asked about Jatobo. We already touched on that, but he wants to know, can you compare the current basketball training staff to the prior one? And I don't know if he's saying the trainers, how they work out, or if he's talking about the coaches. But what's the biggest difference? You talk about the analytical part of it. Mm-hmm. Can you explain, is it like, are they just jacking up more threes in practice, or how's that work?
No, it's much more, this goes into film review and number crunching that, like, I know you were a mathematics major, Shane, so you may be able to relate to this stuff a lot better than I. But I mean, yeah. Do you ever look at a Ken Palm chart?
No.
Okay. So the Ken Palm chart, it registers efficiency in all kinds of things. Where you're talking about 2-point shots, ball dominant, how often ball usage, how often you're used, what your analytics, what your plus minus. I mean, they go beyond that. They've showed me a couple systems that they're using to plug in. I never even heard of. I can't even pronounce some of the names. So in terms of the stuff on the floor, that's pretty basic stuff, shooting and movement, but a lot of what's woven into their workouts right now involves spacing. They want better spacing than they've seen recently. Did you know last year's team, and obviously they want better shooting. Last year's team was the worst 3-point shooting team in the history of Florida basketball.
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, 30.3%. And do they want to shoot better than that? Well, one thing, a lot of the players that put 30.3% up, that contributed to that, aren't going to be there. So you've talked about we talked about Jatobo and whatever, but I mean, you talk about guys that Will Richard from Belmont, Kwesi Reeves was obviously there. Guys like Alex Fudge is. I don't know that Alex Fudge is a renowned shooter or what have you. they're going to work on his shooting from the 4 position, the 5 position. Trey Bonham is a transfer from Virginia Military, who was strictly an analytical find. The guy wasn't on anybody's charts to shoot. As soon as Florida plugged him into their metric system, they said, this guy fits what we do, and they went out and got him. This was a guy who was thinking about going to Appalachian State. As soon as Florida got in on him, next thing you know, Purdue's talking to him, Texas is talking to him, and it just kind of he jumped out of he jumped onto some guys' radars like that. And I really like what I've seen from him so far. But again, I kind of have to reserve judgment a little bit because I've been burned by this before. But Riley Kugel is a guy who went to your Mississippi State Bulldogs, originally signed with them last year. He's a freshman coming from Orlando, Dr. Phillips. He's the lone player that hasn't reported yet. He actually played on the same team with Denzel Aberdeen and the other incoming freshman who's here and training and working out. He's the only player I haven't seen yet. All the other guys are here on deck and working out.
Are you in the market to buy or sell your home? Doreen Weeby, a realtor with Caldwell Banker MM Parish, will provide you fast, friendly, and reliable service. Give her a call today, 352-562-1411, to help your dreams come true. Speaking with Chris Harris from FloridaGators.com on the Titan Moore hotline. Got a text here from Susan in Orlando.
Hello, Susan.
Says, Chris, which transfer has stood out to you the most, and how does the transfer from LSU look?
Yeah, I just mentioned Alex Fudge. I think he's an inch bigger than he was at LSU. This guy didn't play a lot last year. I say didn't play a lot. He was a freshman. He was I'll say top 75, maybe kind of kid from Jacksonville. Went to LSU and kind of got caught behind a couple pretty good players, including Tari Eason, who has a chance to be drafted. But I think he was a 17-minute guy. Wasn't asked to do a whole bunch. Maybe 3 points a game, 4 rebounds a game. He's a fun guy. He's high spirited. Very, very glad he's now playing an hour and a half from where he played high school. He's long. He's got a plus wingspan. So that's one of the analytical terms. Plus wingspan means he's longer this way than he. Right, exactly. Yes. The coaches, of course, now love all the transfers, but again, let's go back to Kyle Lofton because they like he's a point guard. He's a true point guard. They haven't had one here since Andrew Nemhard. Trey Mann, bless his heart, he was playing out of position. He had a great year, obviously, and is doing great things in Oklahoma City. But he should have been playing off the ball. And Tyree Appleby is another guy who's probably not a true point guard when you think about it, especially when you measure his plus minus assist turnover ratio. He's at Wake Forest now, by the way. He will be playing there next season. But Will Richard was kind of a late. He's a kid from Belmont. I'm talking about 12.5 points, 6 rebounds a game last year as a freshman, playing about 6'5". Now, yes, it's at Belmont, but he's already on some down the line draft boards from what he did at Belmont. And so he's an Atlanta kid. And I think he's somebody maybe we're not talking a lot about now, but maybe come next December or January, we'll be talking more about him.
Yeah. Another text on the Titan MR text line for Chris from Robert. He says, do we have any spots still available? And if so, will we add anyone?
There's one. They have 12 of their 13 spots have been filled scholarship-wise. There's a chance they will add another person, another player, another big. I mean, they're not a bunch of great ones in the transfer portal, but there are other avenues to acquire players. As Billy Napier says, we're in the
player acquisition
business. Yes. And that could. And they have talent other places besides the transfer portal, and reading between the lines, that could be across one of the oceans here. So keep an eye out for something that may happen in the coming weeks with regards to that.
Chris, I remember speaking with you last year about the secretive scrimmage against North Carolina.
Yeah.
Was that in the summer? When did that take place?
No. That's always like right before the first exhibition game. So
okay.
It's usually Florida, Georgia weekend. is when that usually is.
Gotcha.
Florida Georgia football weekend. Yeah, that was the and yeah. Last year, Armando Baycott had quite the day, if I recall, and that's something. And they're supposed to go up there and return that game. Now that was made under the previous staff, so I don't know if that will come to fruition. But there will always be at least one secret scrimmage before the season starts.
Well, that'll be a good test because I think they're going to be the preseason #1 team in America.
I thought it was going to be Arkansas till Jalen Williams stayed in the draft. He looked at their top recruiting class and the top transfer class, but then they lost a pivotal guy inside. But I saw North Carolina just added the kid from Northwestern, which kind of put them over the top.
Yeah, I saw that as well. Judy says here, how has it been having Torian Green around?
Mm-hmm. Man, he's a lively kid. And again, I was covering the NFL when Gators were winning back-to-back national championships with Torian Green on the ball, but I've got to spend some time with him. Really engaging guy. I talked to Billy Donovan at length about him. The people in Chicago Bulls loved him. Again, he had a pretty damn fine career overseas. He won 2 national championships. I think he won one in France and one in Poland, including he won one last year in Poland and then retired from the game. I mean, he's 36, I think, now, 35, 36. Obviously can relate to players. Now he's limited to what he can do, Shane. He's not, he can't necessarily be on the court doing stuff because that's the NCAA rules don't necessarily allow that. He can certainly review stuff. He can put workout plans together. And if a coach per se is out of town, there's a rule now, an NCAA rule now. If one of your 3 full-time coaches or your head coach are out of town, you can designate a person to be on the floor working. And I would imagine if that circumstances arise, it would be Torian Green because that's what he did with the Bulls. He was DeMar DeRozan's workout guy, and they had a great relationship. And let's just credit Torian Green for the season DeMar DeRozan had last year. We'll just go ahead and do that.
Yeah. So let's just say Torian Green. He's a guy who still likes to shoot the basketball. He's in the indoor shooting by himself. Kyle Lofton walks in. Does that mean Torian Green has to leave the facility, or can they shoot?
I think he can watch him.
He can watch him.
Yeah, I just get Jamie McCloskey on the.
Yeah,
on your,
maybe nobody would know. Nobody would
on
know,
your next Zoom, right? And it may have changed since yesterday. So.
Yeah. All right, Chris.
It's just stuff. But you can give him as much money as you want.
That's right. That's true. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. You can't go out here and we can't work on dribbling. We can't worry about on our layup drill. Right. We can stroke you a check for $1 million.
That's right.
That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
At least
Chris,
I think that's what it is. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, man, hey, we appreciate you joining the program as always. Obviously, it's not a whole lot going on right now. So, do you and Scott Carter, is it vacation time for you boys?
Just for a little preview, starting today, the Year in Review series. It's a 2-day thing that I do. It looks back on the achievements, first to the top 10 team moments, tomorrow top 10 individual moments. So people can click on FloridaGators.com. That kind of wraps the 21-22 academic or athletic calendar for everybody. And then, we do have some time to maybe settle in. Got some stuff to do. There's some long range stories to work on. I'm working on something long range on Billy Napier, working something long range on Todd Golden. But these guys will be here, and I'll be around them. So maybe hit up with some pieces every now and then.
Yep, and congratulations, Coach Napier. He's inducted into the Furman Football Hall of Fame. And we want to give a shout out to our great producer, Evan Miller, who has turned 27 today. Wouldn't it be great to be 27 again, Chris Harry?
I don't even remember. It was probably pretty good to be 27.
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday.
He does a phenomenal job with our program. Chris, have a good weekend. We'll talk to you in a couple of weeks or whatever and go from there. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Take care, Shane. See you. Thank you.
Yep, that's Chris Harry. Join us on the Titan MR hotline. At Chris Doring Mortgage, they do mortgage lending right, helping home buyers throughout Gainesville and North Central Florida. Call Chris Doring Mortgage today at 352-244-0840. Hope you enjoyed today's program. And make sure you tune in tomorrow. We'll get Brent Beard, get his thoughts on what's going on in college football. Have a great day, folks, and we'll see you tomorrow.